and of course other assets in other parts of the country, especially the central in Zamfara State, Kaduna State, especially Birnungwari area, Kebbi, Sokoto, Katsina, Nasarawa, and many other places that we have some assets. Today, most of the places are under the control of bandits. And of course, even taxes. We noted that the taxes that the government collects now is within the range of 33% of the company profit. We believe it's on the high side, and in our blueprint, we are talking of 25%. The idea of 25% is to ensure that it is attractive enough for companies to pay, because many people who are told that have left this country because of multiple taxation. And of course, we believe that more people will pay, and therefore the total income of government will certainly be more than what is being collected today. Ours, especially in places that I had an opportunity to work, in Kano and other places, we try to be ourselves. We try to be as honest as possible, to the extent that honesty goes down, trickles down to even the lowest worker. And that was why when I was in government, we had enough resources. To the extent that for the 8 years I was in government, we never borrowed any kobo from any government, from any other person for the 8 years I was governor in Kano State. I always tell my friends, especially governors and even presidents, that there is enough resources in the country, enough to take care of all of us. The issues that we have today, and of course even in the past, is that leaders are not keeping their eyes on our resources, to the extent that either they are involved themselves in taking, or they allow other people around them to take. And the end result is that the little resources that we have is being taken by people who are opportuned to be at higher places. And that's what explains why today our governments at national and state level, governments are only resorting to borrowing money. And even the money that is being borrowed, I don't believe that it is being utilized effectively. I'm happy to say that when we are in government, we are the first to start e-payment in this country. But we realized that at the time, we had not enough banks. Government had to register 37 microfinance banks so that people can find it easy to go to bank from their locality. And of course, we started TSA, Treasury Single Account, the first to start that. And we are so happy that it worked very well for us. And also, I have to thank all the civil servants that I worked together with as a governor in Kano State. They gave us maximum cooperation to ensure that our projects and programs were being executed effectively. Especially education, we have decided to build 500,000 classes for the out-of-school children that we have in this country. We have about 20 million of them. We believe every child must go to school in this country. That's exactly what we have done in Kano. Thousands of classrooms in our primary schools. We built over 200 secondary schools. We built Kano University of Science and Technology, and of course, Northwest University in Kano. During our time, we decided that education should be our priority. For the 8 years I was governor in Kano, education from primary, secondary, to tertiary level, fees were free. People, especially the sons and daughters of the poor, were given an opportunity to send their children to school. And I'm also happy to say that in addition to our 2 universities and other 26 institutes that we created during our time, we also engaged in foreign scholarships. In 4 years, we sent over 3,000 young men and women who were resident in Kano. I don't want to use the word indigenous because we used our scholarship for everybody that was resident in Kano State. I'm happy I've graduated. On a basis now we are receiving from the scholarship that we awarded to our young men and women in Kano State. We also selected some universities, private universities. Al-Kalam University, we sent 412. University, 300. Crescent University, 200, up to 25. All these private universities under normal, the sons and daughters of the rich people were governed. But during our time, these were universities that were attended sons and daughters of workers and other people who could not ordinarily send their children to private universities. We also helped some universities, Ambele University, Usman Danfodio, University, 300 hostel to each of these universities, free of charge. And say they allowed or they gave maximum number of children in Kano State. In fact, the last 2 years of our administration, our universities in Kano, state-owned universities that we built, were complaining of not having enough universities from Kano, students from Kano. I'm happy to say that at the time I left Kano, there was nobody with university qualification who could not get admission and of course sponsorship abroad or here in Nigeria. That is today, I'm so happy wherever I go, I meet quite a number of them at the airports, in various meetings and so on. I'm also happy that among those over 3,000, 100 of them are pilots today. They are captains, both in this country and in other parts of the world. 25 of them were marine engineers. They are all over the world today. And I'm sure in all the universities that we have in this country, especially in northern Nigeria, You go there, you get hundreds of them as lecturers. And also, it is important to mention that 3 out of those scholars, as we call them, were among the 3 most cited scientists today in the world, not in Africa, not in Nigeria. 3 of them at University of Dutse in Jigawa State. So we are so happy that during our time, education was critical to us, and it was successful, that nobody, no child who wanted to go to primary who could not get a space. So also secondary and also tertiary.
First, we will assess the impact of this redesign policy. It's more than the redesigning at the moment. It's now the notes itself, scarcity of the notes on economic development. On the flip side, we'll be looking at this implication again on scarcity, small businesses, and of course, the overall economic outlook for the year 2023. This looks like a cash crunch